Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Weekly Collective. I hope that you're doing well. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, and we're going to be taking a look at the next 7 days, some channeled messages, a special topic, and a lot more. It's so good to see everybody. Welcome. Mr. Apollo's in the background, chilling out. I have a coffee here with me. I hope you all are chilling out a little bit, relaxing and enjoying, and getting ready for the messages coming in. We always begin all of my readings actually with channeled messages. And I had one that came from dreams and one that came from my patio. So let's talk about both of them. In the dreams, I was really picking up on the need to do a little bit of cleaning and decluttering. So we'll talk about that first, and then we'll talk about what the bee was teaching us. All right, so by the way, everything in this reading is for everybody present. I do a specific portion where I'll look at the elements, but otherwise, unless otherwise stated, it's for everybody here. So decluttering. This is what I was seeing primarily in dreams this morning, and it was kind of interesting because, people have auric fields, energetic fields, but objects can also take on energy because of the sort of attached energy from the people that own them, and then also just spaces and emotions that are kind of infused on those objects. So it's almost as if I was looking at the auric field of the objects in dreams. Some of them seem just a little bit cluttered or seem to be a little bit heavy. So today would be the perfect day, especially since it's the weekend for many of you, to kind of do some energetic decluttering. So one easy way to do this is to go into your closet, especially with clothing. This is one of the easiest things. And you could pick up a shirt or some trousers and think about when did I buy this? What was the last memory I have? Do I feel good when I'm wearing this? Do I still want to keep this in my closet? So we can do sort of energetic audits like that. You can do the same thing with little knickknacks and baubles and things that are around you that you just sort of accumulate over the years, maybe from a grandparent, maybe from a friend or a coworker, different offices that you've worked at. Sometimes these things bring us good memories. Sometimes they're just stuff. So if you get nothing when you're reading it, or if it's a negative read, think to yourself, what is this really doing here? Is it just occupying space? Because when you start to clear out some of that, then you have an ability to breathe and think easier. I had to do a lot of moving last year. I gave away a lot of stuff and donated and recycled things. And I waited a long time, much to the chagrin of people around me. I'm like, I'm just not ready. And I realized lately it was because I just needed to get clear. And then once you're clear, you're like, okay, now I can get a couple of items to start to fill the space. But I just needed space. Space to heal, space to think. And I didn't have to listen to anybody around me about you need to fill up the space. We don't have to fill everything up. It's good to have space to think and breathe and kind of sort out our energy. So find a place where you can do that, create some space in your life. And the decluttering can be anything from objects to your schedule. Why are you still maybe engaged in certain activities or hanging out with certain friend groups that create that sense of sort of clutter in your life as well? Okay, so there you go. That's the first message here, is to create space. I chose temperance here because I think it's important to be patient when you make these decisions, and you don't have to do them overnight. So you can just kind of take things and move them into a corner and say, I think this is what I'm going to give to charity. I think this is what I might recycle. I think this is what I might try to sell. Maybe I know someone that would like this. So find a place in your room, in your apartment, in your home, where you can kind of organize this and sit with it for a second. And then if you still feel good a day, a week later, etc., it's time to move it on and out. All right, next piece. As I was getting ready this morning, it's still sitting there, I saw a solitary bee just sort of clinging to my screen, resting, because it's still morning here. It's around 9 o'clock now, but the sun hasn't started to kind of come out. It's outside, but I have a different facing window here. This is western facing. So it's not too bright, and the bees are still resting. And I did a little research, and not all bees are sort of exist in colonies. carpenter bees, leafcutter bees, sweat bees, and then mason bees. They're basically independent. They may group together, but they don't live in a big colony. And so anyway, that's one of the things that I saw on my porch. And one message with that I didn't even put in the card is you may be needing to get some stuff done today and this week on your own. You can occasionally get back in with the main group, but this may be a week where you're just going to do some busy work on your own. Now, bees sleep. All types of bees sleep. And we always think of them buzzing around and doing things, but some of them get up to like 5 to 7 hours of sleep like a human. So there's a reminder here to rest. To rest, recharge, refocus, reflect. It gives you the clarity you need to make better decisions. You are going to be able to think on your feet better. Your body is going to be able to sustain longer. And so rest and refocus and see where that brings you. And those are the powerful messages that came from Spirit and also from my back porch. So take a drink of coffee, drink of water, relax a little bit. We're going to get ready here for the 7-day forecast. This is going to take us through the next week, just like you would think. I've got the deck ready, so let's get started. Welcome everybody, by the way. It's good to see you. Let's zoom in just a little bit more. There we go. All right, let's get this organized and let me get my day markers ready and we'll begin. All right, so first things first, as I just kind of scan the week ahead, I like what I see. Today might be the most challenging day, but overall the week looks pretty good. So let's begin with the beginning here, Sunday. So we have the 8 of Swords. Sometimes with the 8 of Swords, there is a feeling that it's just not clear what to do next. Typically this would be blindfolded. In this one, we can kind of see a skinned animal over their head, so you can't see everything. But what I would say, whenever the 8 of Swords comes through, I'm going to pull the traditional one because I think it helps to see it. It's good to ask questions. It's good to meditate. It's also great to remember that sometimes the universe has a plan that we're not completely clear on just yet. So what seems like it might be a delay or something that just causes more questions, it's really just something cosmically aligning, a synchronicity opening up for you. Here's your traditional 8 of Swords. So you can see the person looks like they don't know what to do. They may feel like there's a lack of empowerment. So message number 1 with 8 of Swords is you have more power and capacity to make decisions, to do things than you may realize. The ways to transmute this energy of being in the dark is to do research, ask questions, talk to other people, have faith and trust in your own abilities, and realize that, no matter what level of clairvoyance you have, a lot of times you just have to trust instinct and then use your skills and you'll thrive. So today you're just dealing with a little bit of uncertainty. The good news is if there was going to be any day where you want to get the 8 of Swords, have it today, because we're going to do a reading for the next hour where we're going to kind of walk through all of the possibilities, okay? So try not to overthink and try not to worry about what you can't see, because sometimes we make things worse than they are. The next step in this is the 9 of Swords, and that's the fear-based card where you just can't get any sleep. So research, ask questions, have faith, and keep an open heart and an open mind. All right, and that's basically how you can transmute 8 of Swords. Let's move on to the beginning of the work week here. We have Monday, 5 of Wands. Might be a little bit of a slow start. Might be some competition, some difficulty in communicating. If I can keep the card in my hands. When we normally look at this, you can see that this isn't the most cooperative card. People are usually trying to speak loud or be seen, show each other up in this card, and it's not productive. So in a normal, whether it's your family, a group of friends, or a work environment, what happens with this is there's always room for just a little bit more collaboration, cooperation. Somebody has to step up and say, let's just work together. We've got this. And that's one of the pieces of advice I would have for Monday, is just to try to rise up a little bit and see if you can't be the voice of reason. Otherwise, try not to redouble efforts. If someone wants to do something and they want to do it the hard way, if they don't want to listen, that's up to them. So you're going to focus instead on, we talked about the solitary bee. Sometimes the hive is doing its own thing and it's got that hive mentality. So you're going to break out a little bit and, like Apollo in the background, dig in and do your own thing, and it'll be all right. Okay. Motivation may be lacking. So one thing that you can always remind yourself of when Five of Wands energy comes through is, why is it you're doing what you're doing? Reconnecting with your goal, reconnecting with your vision, and that's the important thing. Okay. On the bright side, you'll get work done. You might need a carrot in front of you to stay motivated. All right. Let's move on to Tuesday. Tuesday, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is the best card so far in this progression that we see here. Eight of Swords, Five of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. I love that this one actually shows a fire burning, and we start to see things going in the right direction. Typically with this, to me, it signals recovery, rebounding, regrowth, and there's always just a little bit of a reminder from Spirit that it takes time for these things to happen. So here's your traditional Seven of Pentacles. We can see a grapevine growing, and he just wishes he was like the Nine of Pentacles, where all of the riches were there and he had everything taken care of. One step at a time, folks. Don't overextend, don't rush, be patient with yourself. And focus instead where the passion is. And I kind of like this new illustration here. Teamwork is great. Maybe this is the better day to connect with a team, and easy does it. It's a good day to also get a really clear understanding of your schedule, of your budget, of expectations. All right. Let's now take a look at the midweek. Now I really like where we're at with the Eight of Pentacles. We've gone one up here in the order of this minor arcana. So Eight of Pentacles, this is a grumpier version of the Eight of Pentacles, but it's a good card. Typically with the Eight of Pentacles, what we're going to see is somebody learning a lot. So this card will come through when you choose to get training, go to school, put things into production, basically pay attention to the little details. With the small print or fine print, she may not like looking at the details, but it's worth it. There's always a return on the energetic investment. So one theme that I'm seeing this week for everybody could just be why am I doing this? When is it going to be fun? So remember, this is a week where you can accomplish a lot. Already we've seen a breakthrough in the energy where it's going in the right direction. So motivation, including your own, why you're doing this, is going to be really, really key. So here's your traditional one. This is someone that is really putting their heart and soul into it, paying attention to every little detail and polishing everything up. And what a contrast with this, where she feels like, why am I doing this? So again, motivation is key. I love the Eight of Pentacles. It's apprenticeship, learning, and expansion. Some of us, though, are thinking, I've been through that. I know that. You can always learn new things. And that's really what we're learning here. Again, we're at the Wednesday point. So just motivating yourself and tracking your progress, even just reflecting on the week so far and seeing that you're starting to make some leaps and bounds here. This is a really good day if you need to have people review something, if you want to make a proposal, if you're sending out any written communication. And again, if you just want to master something, learn something, this is a great day to do it. Okay, let's move on to Thursday. Now we have boss energy entering the room here. So this is your King of Wands. The card was reversed, but actually there are some advantages with this card in reverse, and that would be that you know when, where, and how to stand your ground. You're sometimes stepping forward and it's kind of like a conductor. You're leading and showing how it's going to be done. There is an advantage perhaps to show rather than to tell. So simply to show someone how it's done, or that it is possible, or kind of like giving them visual aids as to what needs to be done. I think that's the key here is lead by example, show, don't tell, stand your ground. One cautionary note with this card, or one encouragement, is always to try to entertain other possibilities and keep an open mind, because it isn't the most open-minded of all of the cards when it's reversed, all right? But this is a day where if you need to be heard or seen or get something accomplished, Thursday is the day to do it. Definitely a day to, if you need to take charge, that's your take charge day. Let's move on to Friday. This is a day where things come into focus. So we have Janus on this Two of Wands, one of my favorite sort of mythological beings, basically the god of doorways, ends and beginnings, two faces looking at past and present. And it's a nice reinterpretation of the Two of Wands because sometimes, I've been talking about it this week, we lose track of where we've been, where we're headed, and how much progress we've made. So Janus is saying, stop for a second, pause, refocus, and really kind of gather up your sort of your vision so that you're not just haphazardly moving forward. You may also need to slow someone else down and say, this isn't what we agreed to. Have you thought about this? I have an idea. Before we move forward, pause. All of those sort of interjected comments could help you save time down the road. And so you may be conjuring up your inner Janus and saying, let's reflect on this for a moment before we step forward. The reversal of this is just not second guessing your intuition. This is usually paired with High Priestess energy. I mean, it empowers the High Priestess whenever it comes through. So, because when you know what you want to do, then you can see how to do it easier. So that's my advice on that. Let's move into next weekend. Two cards stuck together when I was pulling the energy for Saturday. So let's take them card by card. The first one is fantastic. So this is probably the best day so far. Empress energy is nurturing, is bossy, is someone who can deliver on their promises. It's also a card of being able to take care of yourself. It's developmental. It's one of the best cards that you could actually pull. So almost a week from today, just a little under 6 days from today, things are looking great. The underlying energy is Page of Swords reversed, very close to today's special topic, the Queen of Swords. This is a day to speak freely and to do so with a sense of ownership, authority, and passion. You don't waste any time with the Page of Swords in reverse. If there's something to be said or done, quick action, quick communication. And I really don't worry so much about a Page of Swords reversed. They're usually not coming off the wrong way. It's just, let's do this. Are you on board? And sometimes that call to action can be very, very inspiring. So I like what I see next Saturday. Let's move on to next Sunday. What we have is success. So everything you've been doing all week, despite the sluggish start, ends on a successful note. Let's talk about this. So we have Six of Wands. The card was reversed. So it may be a reminder for some of you that success is subjective. Sometimes you look at money, title, or popularity as a level of success. Others may look at fulfillment, satisfaction, and mastery. Like, did I set out what I intended to do, and did I learn as much as I could? Those could be their bars of success. I like that better because it's something that will stick around in the long run. This is also a reminder that leading is more important than trying to appease the masses and sort of inspiring others. So if you lead the charge, eventually people are going to connect with that sort of clarity and honesty and integrity of leadership rather than just doing what's popular, doing what's necessary and doing what's sustainable is what's important with this. Sometimes when you're in front of that sort of in front of the group, it could feel a little lonely, but if you're doing it for the right reasons, success is yours to celebrate. Okay? All right. So highlights and lowlights, and then we'll move on to the elemental forecast, and then we'll get into the special topic. All right. So highlights and lowlights. There's really no lowlight this week. I would say challenging days. It's just the first 3 days. Today, it's figuring out what you want to do. Monday, it's figuring out how to work well with others. And Tuesday, it's not overextending yourself. That's the summary. The rest of the week kind of constitutes highlights. Each day gets incrementally better. You're starting to feel really confident in the small stuff, like everything looks good, looks and feels good. Then you can kind of stand up for what matters. Then you can start to look at the bigger picture, and then you can speak out, take some action, and then it's well received. So it's a story this week. It actually unfolds. Each card getting better, each card building on the other, and that's how it should be when we're looking at cards anyway. They should tell a story. All right, let me just arrange some space on this while I'm doing that. A quick reminder, if you're enjoying this, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. And thank you if you did that. It helps more than you know. All right, let me see. I know which deck I'm going to use. We're going to move into the elemental forecast next. With the elemental forecast, what we're going to do is group all 12 signs into the 4 elements. This is the only part of today that's going to be sign specific, okay? Fire, earth, air, and water. Don't worry, we'll break down what's in each right now. So for my fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you came through with Hermit energy. So over the course of this week, one thing that's really important to you, it looks like, is to do the research and really feel confident and comfortable in yourself. I talked about the sort of like independent bee energy that we were picking up on. This is you. This could be saying, you know what, I just need to finish this. And then as we were looking at the latter part of the week when the King of Wands came through, I think that was around, Thursday? That's when you're going to be able to step forward and say, now I know what I want to do. Now I know how to say it. But the first 2 or 3 days of the week, you may be working in solitary, or you might be doing a little bit more personal introspective work. This is a card that also helps you connect to spirit. So meditation, getting enough sleep, all of those things are comprised in this card as well. One of the wisest cards in the deck, if we were looking at Lord of the Rings, this would be Gandalf the White after he had come back from the dead. All that knowledge, all that sort of energy and insight, you're coming through with knowledge and power. And just like Gandalf, you're going to know when to show your light. He would sometimes hide it a little bit and wait. So this is kind of like wisdom and age. You don't always have to show your right. You don't always have to fight a fight. You don't always have to use your time and energy if someone's not appreciative of it. The hermit knows how to discern all of those things. So use your wizardly energy this week and kind of channel your inner Gandalf. If you've watched Lord of the Rings, you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you're just kind of leaning on age and experience and saving a little bit for the end of the week when everything starts to take shape and take form, okay? You may have a difficult time if you're spending too much energy at home. At the end of the week, I think it is important to mix and mingle, so we don't want to be in that hermit phase too long. So engage with it just long enough and then become the star that the hermit usually holds in the lantern. That's my fire sign energy. Let's move from fire to earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This card seemed like it was haunting us last week, and so it's making one more reoccurrence here. So we have the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is completion. This is one of my favorite cards because she does not feel burdened. She's learned to delegate. She's working with this animal here. They're sharing the load and they're coming down the hill. So this is often a denouement or sort of easier phase for you. So hopefully by the mid or latter part of the week, things are starting to feel better. Don't overdo it though with 10 of Wands energy. Sometimes when it comes to exercise, work, or any aspect of your life, there can feel, sometimes you just feel like you're pushing yourself too far too fast. Take it easy, take care of yourself. It's important to pace yourself. Don't feel bad if someone is pushing you and you have to stand up for yourself. We saw that energy again come with the King of Wands in reverse. Push right back and say, no thanks, okay? Moving, traveling, and possibly collaborating with someone from afar. There's a distance component with the 10 of Wands. It's upright, so it seems pretty auspicious. I think you can navigate it and make it work. All right, those are the messages for all my earth signs out there. Let's move on to air. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The other wise card came through here, the Hierophant. So the Hermit and the Hierophant, two of the smartest cards in the major arcana. I love this Hierophant because he's unconventional. We don't have like a stuffy, Pope with the disciples and all that jazz with this. We don't see the keys. We just see someone saying, I'm going to create a new way for this to be done, a new standard, a new sort of pattern. So there is power in structure, but it doesn't have to be the same old structure that's been done for, dozens or hundreds or thousands of years. You could create a structure, a schedule, something that works for you. Find your own key, find your own path, and then maybe others will follow. And even if they're not there right now, because we don't have the disciples present in this, that's okay, because you're doing what's right for you. But this is saying don't wing it this week. Create a schedule, make something new, have a plan each day, but it's actually better if it isn't the same old. It doesn't have to be the same. Just make sure that it's something that feels right and resonates for you. Spiritual growth, spiritual practice, meditation, knowledge, all of those things are part of this, much like the Hermit. So there's a very similar energy for fire and air, but we're looking more at organization with air this week than anything else, okay? I hope that helps. It is a teaching card and a leading card as well. This one definitely is much more public facing. That would be the difference, because typically there is a Pope on it. So if you're ready and willing to step in front of a group, they're going to listen. This is a card that's definitely take charge in the same way that the Emperor and the Empress is, because it's right in succession of that. Okay. In fact, it has the energy of Empress and Emperor in its sort of overall sort of approach as well. All right, let's move on to water. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You were summed up by today, the Eight of Swords. Now we get a second glance at what this card can represent. Things are better than you think. Sometimes we focus on this, which is the illusion, rather than this. Sometimes we focus on this, which is the projection from others or from our psyche. Focus on possibilities. Don't tether yourself. Rather than worrying about what may not be, what might be is going to be more productive, more powerful, and that's really where the energy is taking you. So this card is saying it's better than you think. There are more possibilities and opportunities than you might imagine. Open your heart, open your mind, and open your mouth and ask questions too if you need to in order to kind of bring that through. It's not all spelled out. And for many of you, the emotional piece, because we're looking at water, is difficult. You're like, I want it. I want to see it. Why isn't it here? And I understand. Sometimes it's nicer to have everything planned out. But your particular element and the three signs that comprise it, that you're being asked to trust your heart and just kind of like move forward with that knowledge that it's going to be all right. If you need help or support, ask. If you need advisors in your life, seek them out. And that's the last piece of advice on that. All right. We are now going to move into, not the expanded, we're going to move into the special topic. Today's special topic is exciting because you chose it. You always do. And the special topic was Queen of Swords, Truth, Clarity, and Action. As a reader, this empowers me to be no nonsense. I'm always kind and positive with my readings, but I'm also going to try to get to the point because she's seeking the truth and trying to get clear on things. So I'll do my best to help you with that. Okay, let me take a quick drink and then we're going to get into the special topic. Okay. This is for everybody present. Welcome. Good to see you. By the way, thank you so much to those of you that just gave back, Diana, with all those gifted memberships. I appreciate it. At the very end, I will say thanks to those that gave back, since Dakota isn't here today. Again, seeking truth, seeking clarity, seeking places where you can take action. That is the topic this week. Alrighty, let's begin with the Catalyst card. And the Catalyst is a way for you to create some action, create some movement, make some good things happen. So we have a Warrior card that was reversed. So for some of you, as I was saying with like Hierophant energy and Hermit energy, it's knowing when to fight and when not to fight. And for some of you, you might be thinking to yourself, this isn't worth it. I'm ready for something else. I want it to be easier. And I appreciate and approve of that message, because sometimes, not sometimes, I would say usually, more often than not, where the energy is where you should be. So if you have to fight it tooth and nail, it's probably not worth it. Save your energy, save your power. That's actually what we get with this. Fight the fight that matters, but don't feel like you have to fight just because. You don't have to take the bait either if someone else is trying to reel you in, okay? Because that's what I'm kind of getting with this snake here. So be strong and fight back with love, with knowledge, with your own insights. That is, the pen is mightier than the sword. It's interesting that we got the Queen of Swords. So take a look at knowledge, and twice, well, actually thrice, because the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Pentacles all are basically indicative of facts and figures. So we got 3 of those indicators coming through. And I really think that if you can lean on the facts, it's going to be a lot more difficult for somebody to argue with you, because you're speaking from a place of common sense. And that's something that's powerful. All right. Queen of Swords. Let's see what she has to say. By the way, a quick aside. Someone was in the comments earlier kind of saying like the Queen of Swords was like the Wicked Witch. I said, no, I just deleted that. I'm like, no, she's not. She's outspoken. She's clear. In many ways, she's very close to justice. So when reversed, she can be a little bit curt, but we're not looking at her reverse. We're looking at her upright, and the Queen of Swords upright is a good card because she uses communication. She uses truth and facts and figures, and she takes action. And that's what we're looking at, just to clarify. All right, so let's go to your center card here, and we have the Six of Cups. So the first opportunity that's coming through from Spirit is partnership and transforming existing partnerships as well. So we have all these beautiful butterflies, the 2 children, the ships in the background. So for some of you, it's a question. What do I want to do next with this partnership? Is it growing, or is it kind of like moving on? Because we have both energies here. So you're going to be a little bit more discerning in who you spend your time with, and maybe you're pulling back a little bit, maybe you're refocusing a little bit. None of it necessarily has to be overtly communicated. It's a natural ebb and flow. So you're going to go where there's an opportunity to grow, to see development, to see things happen. There could be a really nice partnership coming into your life. When it comes to love and friendship, this is lovely. Many times there's past life energy here where maybe you were siblings, maybe you were lovers, maybe you were just best of friends before. But what comes through is the unconditional universal love, and you can do whatever you want with it this lifetime. It's definitely the energy of friend, deep friend, best friend sort of stuff. It doesn't have to just be love. So I like that. I like that in this period of time, we're seeing an opportunity to open up and create a deeper kind of relationship. Don't rush things. Right on top of that card, we have the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is just sitting in it for a bit and seeing where it goes. So allow for something to naturally progress. So if it's a friendship, it takes time to get like trust and get into that best friend energy. If you're dating someone, enjoy the courtship, really lean into getting to know them and have fun with this. Make time for this, because, you know, there are pockets of your life where the friends are very present, and there are pockets where you may not have that kind of deep friendship energy. So if you're in the pocket where the friends are there, hang out. If you're a little bit more like the solitary bee, learn your own power in this moment and lean into that sort of, this could just be a chance to heal, to grow, and to kind of like adjust everything energetically, so you'll end up calling in the partnership that you may miss. So if you're in it, chill out, enjoy. If you're seeking it, really focus on self-improvement, healing, and then move forward. Because otherwise you'll call in codependencies. because you'll say, I need someone to be happy, or I need someone to show me this, rather than feeling like I embody this and I'd like someone to walk this path, to celebrate this energy with me. I want a partner, not a teacher. And that's what we're looking at. That's the first message from the Queen of Swords, is in order to pull in a partner, not a teacher, you have to heal and fix and adjust energy in yourself first, okay? As we look at the deep past here, we have the Prince or the Knight of Discs. I like it. I like that we have a bunch of kind of like bulls and cows coming through. Taurus, you're showing up really strong today. But what we have here is a slightly stubborn energy when it comes to whatever it is that you set out to do. So the stubbornness can serve you well when it is basically when you're making a decision that I commit to doing this with, the best possible energy. Athletes have this where they're going to set their sights on being at the top of the podium, and they put in all the energy and work. So I'm kind of getting that level of commitment. And others are going to sense that, and sort of as a result, then they want to be a part of it because they can see just how hard you're going to work and how much you're committed to things. Financial growth, personal development, and house and home. These are the areas where I see a lot of energy from the deep past that wants to continue to come through. And this is sustainable. So whatever it is that you really dig your feet in and say, I'm going to do it, you're going to do it. This is the week to make that happen. This is the time to really say, I do. And in fact, we have a question here, which is, do you? Because the ace is reversed. This is normally an offer on the table. So it's saying, like, do you want it? Are you in? Do you want to be a part of this? And all you have to really say is, I do. But you have to feel it before you say it. What's the block right now? In the recent past, we have 3 of Swords. For some of you, there's still some attachments. I saw that in objects, but it could also be, energetic and emotional as well. So what does the 3 of Swords kind of call to action here? Cutting of the cords. Because this 3 of Swords is awake. The heart is open. It actually isn't broken. It isn't, there's some blood at the bottom, but really all it wants is those swords to be gone and those cords to be gone as well. I mentioned this, and we can just pull up my slide from earlier because it's featured in the slide. But what's cool about the 4 of Swords is it actually has all 3 swords and then the next step in it. So if you look at this illustration, you've taken the 3 swords and you've learned from them. And then as you rest, there's an ace right beneath it. So that's the next natural step here, is through rest and relaxation, you can refocus, you can recharge, you can rebound, and you come out of it with an ace. The 3 swords rest, and you can kind of just reclaim that ace and move forward. So that's the next step for many of you, is giving yourself a chance to rest and recalibrate and to cut some cords and say, I'm done with this now. Thank you, universe, for the lesson you provided. It no longer serves me. I no longer need it. Thank you. And goodbye. And then the rest comes next. And that really is like the 4 of Swords teaches us that time does heal. It doesn't heal everything, and it doesn't heal everything overnight, but it does heal, and it can be a great way to let go. But the Queen of Swords is coming through as well, saying, let's also cut ourselves free from the things that cause us pain in our lives. Learn the lesson, release the teacher, move on to something else. We have Hermit energy at the top. As I said before, this is very wizardly or sorceress sort of energy. So you've learned your lessons for sure. You're not quite ready to step into the star power just yet. So the Hermit in reverse can be a skeptic, believe it or not, and they're looking for incontrovertible proof. In other words, without a shadow of a doubt. And to be honest, we don't necessarily get that in our lifetime sometimes. So Einstein came up with all kinds of theories before they were ever proven. He was able to, theorize a black hole, and it wasn't proven until years after he was gone. Like, we weren't able to get pictures of them and all of that. So sometimes you know a truth before you can prove it, and you know the next step before everything is clear. So this Hermit in reverse is saying, let's step away from needing to have incontrovertible, black and white, without a shadow of a doubt proof, because it may not happen in the time that you need it to happen. Get as much data and research as you can get, and then take the first step, okay? Lean back into the Fool energy and just allow what needs to be, okay? On this particular hermit, a fun little detail is at the very bottom. They've stood still so long that there's like mushrooms growing around their feet. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want you to sort of like, this is the stagnation that I was picking up on earlier in dreams. We don't want to see you kind of stagnate in any one place or way of being, okay? So it's time to move forward. It's time to have some faith. It's time to have some vision. Okay, now we have a question. So there's an offer on the table for some of you. This could be a new job. This could be a new opportunity. Is it good enough for you? Because it's coming through with a question mark as reversed. If it's not, push back if you need to. If you don't want it, say no. One thing, though, that this card can also be is doubt. So the universe could be saying, I believe in you and I'm presenting you with this. And you think to yourself, can I do it? And then I always like to just say, take the question that is doubt and just put a why in front of it. Why can't I do it? What am I afraid of? So if you're thinking, I'm afraid, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Why do I think I can't do it? Why can't I do it? I can do it. Let's give it a shot. So just talk yourself into it by asking yourself questions. And if the question is answered, like if you say, why can't I do it? Well, it's not enough money. Okay, well, let's ask for some more money. Or I need some more support, or I need some more information. Educate yourself so that you can eventually, hopefully, get this into an upright ace. There could just be a little bit of work that needs to be done. You might be like 60, 70% of the way there. But this is still looking like it's a good card overall. I like an ace. So there's some questions around it. Only you can answer those questions, but it's a good start. Let's look at you. Some of you are just coming through a really interesting phase. So this was pain, difficulty, disappointment. It's in the past, recent past. This is you, and you're coming through as basically reincarnation energy here. So we have a beetle, a scarab beetle, winged in this particular deck, and we see you at the center of that, death and rebirth. It's one of the most beautiful Ten of Wands cards probably that I've seen, because it shows that you have to sometimes push through to the finish line, but it's worth it. And I enjoy hiking as one of my forms of exercise. So a lot of times it's that last little bit before you get to the top and you're thinking, how am I going to do this? When we were looking at the other deck, let's see if I can still find it, where it's always worth this part of the journey. Also for those of you that are cyclists, when you're pushing up the hill, it's hard, but when you get to kind of coast, it's nice. So this is about the liberation, taking flight, or coasting energy. And it looks like you're on the precipice of that. So don't give up in this last push. Know that you are able to change your mind and your path. And the Ten of Wands is completion. A couple of times in my life, like when I was getting my undergraduate and graduate degrees, I knew as I was finishing that I wasn't going to use it exactly the way that it was taught to me. So I just decided to push faster. So I earned both degrees 6 months early. I decided to double up on credits. And basically, in my earlier education, I cut out 1 year because I was like, this is just a necessary piece of paper I need to get in order to open doors. So I'm just going to push through faster, save myself money, get out into the world a little faster. So I did it twice, and it was worth it. But if I were to even go through my life again, I might have taken a different path altogether and not even done that kind of training. But sometimes you just have to push. When you're 3/4 of the way done, why quit? I was like, I could just do 6 more months, be done, and be free. So I did it. And that's a Ten of Wands energy. It's just to push a little extra at the end and earn your wings, okay? So if you've done most of it and you're a little burned out, it may be worth just finishing what you've started. You'll never go back and second guess, what if I would have done this? So there you go. This is a survivor. This is reinvention. This is also very Phoenix-like energy. It's all good because it's you. I like what you're bringing forward. Look at this, folks. Look at what's going on around you. Look at what's in the near future. Look at what's also a possibility. Some of you are choosing between two paths in front of you. One is a path that may be paying better or showing up better. One is one that your heart wants. Go for the one that your heart wants for sure. It's to me, this is easy advice because your instinct and intuition will lead you in the right path. Sometimes no amount of money, no amount of power, no amount of opportunity can make up for something that doesn't sit well with us, right? This is maybe what was expected. This is what is desired. So you're just on that kind of a path or that kind of a precipice. Some of you, God bless you, you have a couple people in front of you that want your time and energy. It could be 2 job offers. It could be 2 love interests. And when we go through the expanded forecast, we'll get a little more clarity on those. But opportunities knocking this week. There's a couple of opportunities. So right around you, we have a partner card, the Page of Cups, or Princess in this particular deck. And here's what's interesting. They're very interested in their own path, and what would draw them to you is your passion. So we have the Ace, which is the possibility. So you doing what you want, them doing what they want, the paths converging equals 2 cups here. You can read court cards as 1. This is a 1. We have 2 of cups. So 2 people working their passion, 2 people doing what they really love, finding each other because of the passion, not because they were trying to do it. And here at the center, we have the partnership as well. 6 of Cups, also showing that you can take this even deeper. So partnership is playing an important role this week, but it's coming because of you doing what you want to do and you living in your sort of joy and passion. And I read the Lovers this week. I think I did it Friday because I always read them a day ahead. But I said when you're in the frequency of love, you attract love. And I talked about this in Aquarius, so it's coming through one more time because we're almost at the end of this month. You really need to kind of like ease into something that you enjoy. And this is how you're going to meet people. This is how you're going to open doors. And it's by having some fun. Okay, so I would love for you to do something this week that you are passionate about, that brings joy. Hang out with a friend. It's a good week to focus a little bit more on relationships. So if you want to put yourself out there for dating or partnership or friendship, yes, you could meet someone. It could be a water sign too. Coming through in hopes, fears, and opportunities, you may get your wish. And that's a good thing. Wishes coming true, wishes coming to fruition, partnership coming through. Do I see love? Yes. If I see love, I read love. So it's water, it's love, it's partnership, it's passion. Are you ready? All right. It's also deep soul connection, folks. So we have here past life, and then we have someone who's also deep and spiritual as well. What's a potential block? 5 of Pentacles. So the Queen of Swords would come through and read this as the following. She would say, you are not defined by what people said or thought of you as a child. You are not defined by setbacks in your life. You are defined by how you handle these situations. And you are advised to lead with grace and lead by example, especially when someone else can't do that for you. The inner child needs healing for some of you, and this is a chance to heal the inner child. And when you heal the inner child, then you are going to be able to attract someone else who's done the same level of work that you have. Healing is necessary, but it is also very possible and very much within reach. She would also come through and say, more fiercely negotiate contracts in front of you. She would not let you accept less than the best. The 5 of Pentacles comes through thinking, am I good enough? And we almost have, like from Oliver, could I have some more? Ask for more, but don't ask in a way that is questioning. Say, this isn't enough. This is what's necessary. We talked about this. Use facts, figures, and information to back you up. And then you're going to get to the 6 of Pentacles, which is more than enough. Okay? So there's your Queen of Swords take on that card, which is most powerful. Okay, we're going to now take a look at the expanded forecast. Health, wealth, love, and destiny. Everybody take a nice deep breath. Take a drink of water, coffee, or whatever, and then let's get into this. We'll begin with health. Health is as you would imagine, multifaceted, mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to look at energy. If something's going on in your body, talk to a doctor. Here's what we're looking at with your health card. And actually, let me just move things over just a little bit. This way you guys can see everything. I try to make sure that it's all visible. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Okay, so for health, we have devotion, unites me with the infinite. So this is also saying I am committed to something in my life. Maybe for some of you, this could be a new fitness or exercise or diet routine. For some of you, this could be deciding to spend a little bit more time in meditation or spirituality or religion. For some of you, this is just saying this activity makes me happy. Do something and do it consistently and do it all week. Aim for a 7-day goal. For those of you that have like a fitness app, you know, sometimes like the Apple Watch, there's those finishing up your rings. Same sort of thing on that. Let's just imagine that for the next 7 days, you pick one thing and you do it for 1 hour. I think you can commit to that. And you can break that down into like 10 minutes a day, practically speaking. So meditating for 10 minutes a day, you know, moving something forward creatively or productively. All of you can spare 10 minutes. You've spared longer with me. So give yourself 10 minutes a day to bring a goal into fruition, and then maybe week by week, bring it up a little bit, notch by notch. Make it 15 minutes, make it 20. See where that takes you. See how you start to feel better as you do that. So that's your challenge from Spirit this week, is a 10-minute challenge for 7 days to commit to something that makes you feel better, and then see how you feel at the end of the week, okay? All right, focusing on the cards, specifically looking at health and the energy surrounding health. The Warrior card to me is one of working out or pushing through things. The 10 of Wands is also one of that. So there could be an opportunity right now to push through a block in your life. And this is a persistent card. It's one up from the 9 of Wands, which nothing gets the 9 of Wands down. The 10 of Wands, look at how this scarab is pushing at the wands on either side, so there can be ascension. So push through something difficult so that you can get to the other side. We have 2 cards that indicate sensitivity in the feet. So in this one, it's specifically, you can see it in the illustration where, you know, the foot is tied to the tree. So for many of you, you could have a little bit of pain, and it could be any number of things. I'm not a podiatrist. I'm not, a doctor in that respect, but take a look at being kind to your feet. Better shoes, better support, get an exam if you need to. This card also typically has someone on crutches, so we want to be really careful when it comes to just general care of feet and legs. Get them moving, but also watch what you're doing and work with a doctor on that. Circulation also comes through on both of these. So again, just focusing on general feet and circulatory issues around the feet and legs. That's the one thing that came through there. This has to do with heart, but also emotional health. And the two kind of sometimes go hand in hand. So healing yourself, it's good for your body because we don't want to hold the grief in the heart center. Cardiovascular activity is good. Again, every body is different, so do what's best for your body. But taking care of the heart and taking care of the feet are 2 specific energy points that came through as I'm looking at this. So definitely like root and 4th chakra are coming through. What else do we want to pay attention to? Those are the main things, believe it or not. Everything else looks pretty good to me. And I think that having some fun activities or connecting with some people that you really, really enjoy this week can help with all these other things, because we have playful energy here, we have passion here and creativity, we have love and opportunity. So the more you can do in networking, notice how this triangle encompasses this ace here too. So your social activities are going to help your heart and help you as we get into career here in just a moment. Okay? Those are the main messages for health. Let's move on to wealth. This is resources, life purpose, and career. Don't underestimate your magic. We have the White Witch here. She says, be the light. So wisdom, Athena with the owl is coming through. And then we have this beautiful transformative butterfly or moth here. And then, of course, she's basically the high priestess. Call her what you will. Magic is we call it magic because we don't understand it. I basically, in my book, said it's a new truth waiting to be discovered. So magic is just a word, but what it really means is energy. So we are all connected to magic. And magic happens when we are able to see it, believe it, and start to engage with the synchronicities. And when it comes to your money and your wealth and opportunities, you are very much in touch with your magic this week, and that's good. What might happen is someone might try to come in, swoop in, and make you second guess your skills. So don't. You have the ability to really make some great things happen. In front of her, she has not just a pentagram, but a pentacle, which is an ace, which is money, which is opportunity. She's creating an opportunity. So that's the ace, but both of these aces are reversed. So she's just saying, can you see it? I can see it. Why can't you see it? What are you holding back from? Okay, so all the stuff I talked about with opening this up exists with her as well. And there's an opportunity or synchronicity that's waiting. Are you ready and willing to go for it? Okay, let's see if there's anything else that we want to be aware of. For those of you that are currently working, you may be undervalued. So this is your true value coming through with the Knight of Discs here, Knight of Pentacles, but we're only seeing 5 of Pentacles where you're at. This can constitute a glass ceiling. Some of you are at a place where it's top heavy, too many managers, or they're skimpy with money, or they're just not appreciating you. So this eye in the center is saying, look around. There's other opportunities. Someone else can kind of embrace and compensate you in a way that maybe this place can't. When we're looking at those of you that are studying, like if you're a student right now, I think it would be really good to get out and, like for me, one of the best things that I did was internships, and I did it at both ends, in undergraduate and graduate. And both times I thought, I don't want to do this. And thankfully that helped me decide what I did want to do. So getting your head out of the books and getting sort of like connected with everyday life is going to be important. If you don't like your path, follow your passion. At any point you can decide to redirect. Like when I had my undergraduate, I pushed through. I'm like, well, I'm 3/4 of the way done. I realize now this isn't what I'm going to do. I still did an internship and then really realized it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I said, all right, well then I'll do this. And then even when I did my graduate degree, I'm like, but this is kind of old school and I'm much more new school. So I just kept allowing my heart to direct me, but I didn't have to throw everything out. I just sort of like finished what I set out to finish. And then I'm like, now what can I do with these skills? Because we don't even call it new media anymore. It's just digital media. But it was new-ish around the turn of this century. Makes all of us feel old that graduated around that time period. But people didn't know where it was going to lead. I just knew I needed to stay involved in tech. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's why I've embraced it. And that's why I got skills in that. But this didn't exist, so I just had to try to find some things that I knew I could build upon and then teach myself the rest. And some of you may need to do that as well. It's not always going to be packaged up, your path. And you're not always, remember the Hierophant folks that I saw earlier, that young looking Hierophant. Some of you are that Hierophant. Some of you are this dude here, where it's like, I'm just going to make my own path, okay? So do it if you need to. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to do something that's unconventional. You're probably going to have to do it for a while. Might as well be happy with doing it. For those of you that are retired, maybe you're going to go back into, I mean, this is a mentorship card, but it feels like there's some other things that you want to do just for you. This is a new chapter now. Some of you have raised children. Some of you chose not to. Now maybe you're just going to have some fun and travel. This is a travel card. This is engaging in new opportunities, meeting people along the way. You don't have to have a lot of money to do that, by the way. So find some free opportunities, some volunteer opportunities as well. All right, let's move on now to love and relationships. This touches all types of relationships, and the key component here is we're looking at Saint Germain, which is, he's connected to the violet flame, violet the color, is karmic healing or karmic releasing. And it says, move beyond drama, create your own path. I just talked about that. Make room for good energy. I talked about that earlier, clearing stuff out in your life. Saint Germain is an ascended master whom you can work with to call in the violet flame. And it's just like it looks here. It's this color. And it's like a beam of light that can come through and heal parts of you. The interesting thing is violet flame energy isn't just about healing the heart. Sometimes it can even heal parts of the body. Sometimes it can open up paths. So there's lots of meditations. I have a very old one, but you can find multiple meditations out there for the violet flame. You can just also quietly meditate later and call in Saint Germain. So play around with that if you want to. But the main thing that we're looking at in relationships is going to be healing. And I see that here. Let's break this down into 3 categories. If you're in an existing relationship, we'll start with you first, and then I'll hit the other levels of relationship. So things can be healed if we just look at this triptych of cards here. There's been something painful in the past, but there's a deep love and connection here. So you have to invest the time and energy. So if you want to do it, you can do it. But you can't heal everything in your partner or in yourself. So there needs to be an external source of energy to come through and help. So that's my message in existing relationships is you can only take the healing so far in both of you. You may benefit from therapy. You may need some connections with other people. You may need some activities outside of the relationship. You don't have to be the battery for each other. You're partners. You're not the doctor. You're not the teacher. You're not the Mr. Fix-It or Mrs. Fix-It. So be there for each other, but then also empower one another to find the resources necessary. Some of you feel like there's stagnation. The good news is there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of good movement here as I look at this. Basically just a question, are you in? I'm in. All right, I'm in. But you need to have that sense of agreement. If the agreement isn't there, it's just kind of languishing. So somebody needs to take charge. And ultimately here, there could also be, for some of you, just needing to push through a difficult phase of your life. This could be heartbreak. This could, like someone in your family could be sick. There could be something external that's going on. Again, help the partner find somebody, if that's the case, to support them. And then you can support them as well. But you're not their everything and they're not your everything. Ultimately, though, inner child healing or parent-child healing is what I'm picking up on the most. Let's reset it. If you're looking for love, travel could be a way to do that. In your travels, in your work, we talked about that. There could be love. Karmically, some of you have done some inner child healing, and that means that now you're in a different sort of resonance, so you're ready. All of these cards here are ready for love, and yes, you can bring it in. It's very water-based as I'm looking at this, so Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces could be coming into your midst at this point in time. There may be someone that you need to say I'm sorry to first before this person's ready. Clear up the old cobwebs. Then you can focus on what's coming in. And it's a deeper relationship. It's not just sort of a topical or physical one. All right, if you're single and happy, this is still a really creative period for you and a collaborative period. So collaboration is the name of the game. It feels like you should be doing a lot of energy around networking. And I see improvements in money, but I see more energy around people. So you may be single, but there's a lot of socializing and sort of people in your energetic sphere, okay? And again, as you heal, nurture, and grow, you're pulling in people who have done the same. Like attracts like. Focusing on the energy of destiny, we have liberation. So a zebra to me is not just about the unique and singular stripes that they have, which are like a thumbprint. Everybody has a unique thumbprint. The number of stripes and the pattern of the stripes on each zebra is unique. But it also represents to me the 8 of Swords that we got earlier. I was going to try and find the deck, but it's a prison. It's a self-imposed prison because these are bars and there's so many stripes and so many bars. So with the zebra in reverse, it's liberation from feeling like you're stuck. We have a focus on the third eye. Open your mind. Be faithful. I love how it looks like a female zebra. I love the eyelashes on this. And just trust in what's coming through. Okay? Sometimes we make our own blocks or limit ourselves with things like that, and it's unnecessary. Okay, at this point, we're going to look at a single card. Let's get back into the Queen of Swords energy. So she wants to help us with truth, clarity, and action. Maybe I'll pull 3 for those 3 topical points, and then we'll move on to the meditation and final card. So truth, clarity, and action. Let's pull one for each and briefly speak about them. Truth, clarity, action. It's 2, but it's okay. All right, Queen of Swords coming through. The truth is, change is already underway. The question is, what are you going to do about it? She gets to the point. So the truth is, there's a necessary change. She's saying, release the things that don't serve you. Let some things fall away or fall apart. You don't have to fix everything. Focus on getting ahead of the changes that are necessary, because if you don't do them, someone is going to do them for you. Okay? So that's the tough love, truth energy coming through. To help you get clarity, meditation, mentorship, leaning into spiritual, religious, or whatever kind of structural energy you want. The Hierophant keeps making appearances today. So yeah, trust in that energy that you've already kind of built and create a schedule. So to get clear, get organized. That's what she's saying. And now for action. Interesting. These are both reversed. We have the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups in reverse is basically saying you can't please everybody. Focus on surrounding yourself with people that are happy with you the way you are and where you don't have to work so hard to fit in. Push forward the thing that you care about the most. And again, show it, embody it. Don't just say it, but actually do it. And that's the action. All right, let's meditate, and then we'll get into the final component for today's reading. So we have 2 more parts here. We're going to meditate, and then I'm going to answer a final card. The final card is basically a question that I haven't yet answered. I do my best in these general readings, but we always have one unique thing that we're all kind of dealing with. So scribble it down or hold it in your head and heart. But for the moment, I'd like you just to focus on the meditation here. I didn't touch much on the rainbows, but we got 2 rainbows. One on the warrior card, one on the dedication card. So I'd like to work with the energy of a rainbow, and then we'll answer the final question. Take a moment, please. Close your eyes, relax if you will. Take a nice deep breath at your own pace, at your own intensity. On the exhale, relax your neck, shoulders, and back. And imagine, if you will, that you are standing in a meadow. A bright new day is dawning, but it's right after a rainstorm. You can see the dew-covered leaves and blades of grass all around you like diamonds, a field of diamonds. You can smell the fresh petrichor of soil, of rain, that beautiful sort of smell of ozone, and it smells wonderful. For any of you that know what fresh rain smells like, it's great to go out after it's rained. Now imagine that you can see the rainbow, and it's leading from the distance all the way to you. You're at the end of the rainbow. Imagine now, if you would, that you could just connect with this rainbow and start to walk on it like a bridge. And wherever you're headed is better than where you've been. And let's just set that intention for the week ahead. Where I'm headed is better than where I've been, and I'm open to the opportunities that are now availing themselves to me. Close your eyes, keep breathing. I'm going to play the singing bowl for about a minute or 2, and then we're going to look at the final question that you have for me. Imagine that your feet are now on the solid ground at the other end of the rainbow. The sun is shining brightly, and you are open to receive love, abundance, and opportunity in the highest forms. Take one more deep inhale and exhale, And as you exhale, gently open your eyes. Focus now, if you will, on the question that you have for me. And let's see what Spirit has to say. Lo and behold, we have the Lovers card. And I just talked about it. Lovers is in reverse. So for many of you, there's just an encouragement here, not so much to seek love, but to be in the energy of love. So what does this mean? Loving and accepting yourself, loving what you're doing, loving who you surround yourself with, finding peace. Peace and love are very much connected. And when you're in that sort of peaceful love and acceptance, then you can call in the lovers, the lover, and then more of the same. Ultimately, though, this is just a big old magnet in tarot. So when you kind of emanate the feeling of love and acceptance and unconditional love, then others want to just be around it. This is why we love animals so much. He's chilling out back there, but maybe I'll bring him up at the end. But it's because they just love you. They don't judge you. They need food and walks, and they need you to pick up after them. But like, ultimately, dogs and cats and other animals, it's unconditional love. Even after, like in the case of my dog, they've been abused, they still love, because I got him as a rescue. He never judged me, and he just he had to figure out if he trusted me. And then once he did, he was like, full on love. So that's what's amazing with that sort of example. And if we could kind of emanate that too, to come back after disappointment with the energy of this, that's the advice here. So allow yourself to give and receive love, send and receive love, and emanate that and lead by example. All right, everyone. We are now at the final portion here where I'm just going to say thanks. I have now put up all of the videos for the month of August. You can go to the main channel page and see them there. Do me a favor, like and subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment below, put a little heart, let me know, or a rainbow. Let me know what it is you're trying to bring in. I think the rainbows would be cool. I like reading that stuff later. It helps other people discover this as well. You can give me a follow on social media so you never miss out on a reading. I always post a reminder or a recap after I've done a video, so that's a great way to stay connected. It's at Nicholas Ashbaugh on all platforms. And when in doubt, you can always go to my website to get the official links as well. I do not give any private readings, by the way, so if there's anybody out there in comments, in direct messages, or in a fake account that is offering something, block, report, let me know. It's not me. Thank you for all of the participation here. I've seen a lot of supers, a lot of gifted memberships. So I'd like to take a moment to give gratitude to those folks. While I'm getting everything pulled up here, I go live every single Sunday, and this is a great time to connect in real time. So if you like this, we do 7-day forecasts every Sunday. I post new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Friday for the monthly forecast. Tomorrow will be special because we have an extra day, so I might just do an impromptu live or an impromptu post, TBD, so keep an eye out for that. And then I do daily card reads as well. All right, so let's take a moment here just to say thanks to the newest members. And I saw we have a bunch of folks that were gifted. I'll try to go back and chat and see if I can see them, but like I said, Dakota was out, so I'll see it when I'm later looking on replay. But for now, let me just say welcome to, gosh, we got so many new folks today. How exciting. All right, I'm going to do my best to just kind of go through this quickly, reading first names only. Apologies for mispronunciations. I'm just going to kind of do my best. All right, Tamara or Tamara, thank you. Sue Ellen, Melody, Nicole, Susie, Heidi or Heidi Joe, Moon Goddess, Lisa, Kathy, Kimberly, Leonie, Sapalina, Royale, Expansion Rising, Sandra, Elizabeth, and there's no translation for this name, but thank you, Catherine, Annalie, and Emily. Thank you guys for becoming members. Whether you chose to be a member or you were gifted one, that's so cool. Give me a moment here to also say thanks to those who provided super stickers or super chat, and then I'll try to give a shout out to those that gifted some memberships. All right, so for those that gave a sticker today, we have quite a few. What a cool group today. I appreciate this. Thank you to Lucy, Z, Unstoppable, Misha, Amber, Rosemary. Thanks, Rosemary, for that extra bit as well. Toy Sisters, Audrey, Renita Ray. Thank you for the extra. Same thing for Eileen. Chloe, Cindy Toshik, Rian, Gisem, Monica, thank you. Robert, thanks, buddy, for the 100. I appreciate that. Donna, Aphrodite, Lucy, Robin, Tahoe. Good to see you, Tahoe. J. Mark, Sophie, thank you for that extra bit as well. Leslie, Pearl, Pauses and Passages. J. Chance, Enzo Lorenzo, Heidi Joe, Aphrodite, and Lucy. Let's see, we still got some more here. J. Mark, Robert again, thank you for that extra bit. Twice in a row, I appreciate that. Renita Ray, thank you as well for the extra. Monica, Darren Kowski, and Isabella. Much love and light. I hope I got most of them. I think there were a couple extra here, but let me see if I missed anybody. Isabella, thank you as well. And yeah, I think I got everyone. Now to the folks that gave back, and then we'll wrap up for today. I saw some gifted memberships today. So we have Diana Acosta. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Let's see who else gifted some. I know there were more, but I can only see, you did it a couple times, it looks like. So thank you, Diana, but I know there was maybe one other person. I'll catch it on replay. Lone Wolf, thank you as well for that last one. All right, folks, wishing you love and light. Enjoy all of the August readings. I'll probably be doing a newsletter as well, either today or tomorrow, sending that out. So if you'd like to subscribe, you can go to my website for more information. Make sure that you've got that. In the meantime, sending you all the best, wishing you all the best in the week ahead, in the month ahead. Take care of yourselves. And Apollo, do you want to say goodbye to everyone? It's been a minute. He just got up from his nap and it's been a minute. He needs to be groomed, but I know you guys don't mind. Here's Apollo. All right, guys, thank you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.